Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Schroedman's Shop. Today we have a piece of Vera wood, V-E-R-A wood. It also has another name, Lignum vitae. That would be the Latin name. My wife says to me, let's make a salt cellar. So that's the plan. A salt cellar is that little pot that you see chefs taking salt out of and bam! And I like that idea. I do a lot of the cooking. And I like the idea of being able to do that instead of... And I guess that would be the origin of a pinch of salt. I don't know. Anyway, I had a rough time chucking this up. And I hope this is going to work. I'm using my one-way Talon chuck. And this is what they call the mega jaws, jumbo jaws. And it has a pretty good hold on here. And what my plan is to do, I've already marked out the smallest tenon I could possibly put on here that will go with my second chuck. And I've made a outside mark, which is I don't want to go further away from the tenon. I'm going to take about 3/4 of an inch off the top, and that's going to be the lid for it. And I'm also going to put, I guess it's a hinge for one, a pivot, so that I can pivot the lid off instead of just taking it off and setting it on the counter. But, all right, let's see how we're going to do. First of all, I'll put my face shield on in the hopes that it will help me from being killed. I'm going to start off with the one easy wood parting tool, so I can get in there and stay as close to my mark as I can, because I don't want to peel too much wood off of this thing. It's small enough as it is. Don't think this is going to work. I'll show you why. It already peeled that far away from this chuck. Lignum vitae does not float. It's one of the densest woods that there is. As beautiful as it is, it's also the second hardest, if you want to understand, the second hardest wood on the planet. It was probably populated here by aliens or something. So we'll try it again now with the live center and the tailstock. See if it'll hold it tighter to these jaws.
Something in there is really hard.
I'm gonna try to turn a little bit. I finally decided what shape I want this thing to be, with a little help from my wife. Never dismiss the input of the boss. Good. I've got a nice little bead at the bottom here, which is what I was looking for. And I might bring up the tailstop. I mean, it seemed to be holding fine in the chuck the way it was, but no point in being stupid. I can cover that in other ways. The return of the Swarf monster. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and drill a hole in here, centered at about 3/16 of an inch from the edge. And that's going to be my pivot point. The Swarf monster lives. He's pretty active, that old Swarf monster. I think that's going to be a good shape. A little bit flat there. We'll get rid of that. I drilled my hole right here for my hinge pin, where the top will swing off. I went a little farther in from the edge than I figured, because I thought I may take a little bit more off of here yet in cleanup and sanding. So I'll probably be ending up where I want it to be in the first place. Now there's also some saw marks still here. I hope you can see them. But I'm going to just take and come in with the parting tool on the edge. I could use the rougher too, I guess. And just go in and see if I can clean these saw marks up before I get too far along. Annoying sound, wouldn't you say? I think that's enough for tonight. Mr. Swarf Monster needs his sleep. Come on, put this thing back in the toolbox. Nice. I think I keep this over here. That's left. Now this is a little hollower here, but that's okay because I'm going to be turning this part out. And I think what I'll do is use a Forstner bit to begin that process. First, however, let's find out how deep I can go here. I think I'm verging on about 4 centimeters. No. 3.5. And then we can take a measurement.
So, it's already in there just a bit. Yeah, I'll say 3.5 on that. Now, I'll write down my tailstock here. I'll run this out. 2 centimeters. So I can go as far as 5.5. That's what my math is. Math is okay. Face shield, cleaning. 340.
Well, this is going awfully slow. Too slow for my liking. So, I propose to put a regular drill bit in here and get kind of a pilot hole. I decided I'd go in there with a 3/8" drill bit. And I went about 2 centimeters. Let's have a look at how that's doing. Yeah, I can still go a little bit. Okay, I'm just short of my 5.5 there. It feels like that's just about right. Okay, we're moving up to the big boy. That's really the biggest Forstner bit that I have, aside from a 4" and it just drives this machine crazy. So I haven't really attempted to use it too much. The Leaning Tower of Swarf, home of the Swarf monster. Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to make the target perch. So make the wall is a 1/2 inch. Okay. Just a sure. Okay. 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 Easy moving. Hey.
Well, that was a tricky little catch. But all that aside, I think I've got the nasty part of it out of there. Oh, I see. Got caught on that crack. So we'll just snug that up a bit more. To make sure it does not want to kill me. I don't like to almost get killed by this machine. It isn't that much fun. Let's try the baby finisher. I had the boss come down and have a look at this. She didn't like the inside shape, so she had me hollow it out some more, go a little bit deeper. I had a couple of wicked catches. Sorry, I should have had you on board for that. And then I just took a shear cut on this to smooth it out some. And I had a little, I don't know, like a chip or something out of where this crack is. So my wife, aka the boss, said, let's take the outside down a little bit. So I'm going to reshape the outside some. This diameter I can't mess with. because that's the diameter of the top. But I can go deeper here. There's lots of thickness here. I don't want to go too much because I don't want it to lose the weight. Because I don't want it to be just slipping around on the countertop all over the place. Although I do have in mind to put some of that non-slidey stuff on the bottom. And I'm going to try the detailer in here to get me a little more depth. I don't want to lose this ring on the bottom. Hi guys. What the intent was, it's better. To get this turned down a little bit. But also, I had to put a little decoration in here. That was easy enough. But when I tried to do the lid, poof, it went flying. I was fortunately clear of the line of fire, but it's startling, let's say. So anyways, let's see if we can finish up this foot and move on. I don't think I want to go any smaller than that. Well, it's still in the chuck. It's getting precarious there at best, I think. Problems with this bowl. I was recording happily, turning my little heart out, what's left of it, and batteries died. So I had to get squared away with batteries. I came back out, I changed the chucks, and I had been turning away. And it says, okay, let's see what's going on back here. I went and looked behind the camera, and you're out of memory. So I went and did a dump. Memory dump, that is. This was one of my dad's chisels. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I miss you. I got this chunk of, well, he made it into a candle. Beeswax from a local bee farmer, apiarist. I don't know what you call him. Nice guy. In any case, I've watched Richard Raffin do this dozens of times. And my wife even brought me down a sock. And let's give it a try. This one's for you, Richard. Really smooth. Very nice. I think we better call down the missus. Let her have a look at it. I think she will be impressed. The missus was indisposed, so I'm going to proceed. Wish me luck. The friction of the sock just really buffs this up beautiful. If I can hold it on there. Now, being a new sock, I guess we'll have to figure this out, but it's not as well seasoned as Richard Raffin's sock. but it does seem to be working. Just need to make sure I can get that not caught in the chuck though. Wow.
I'll try. Just stuff just in here. It's a max on the rest of it. Good. Good. Well, there it is. Smooth glass. Tiny little glass. And that's one. It is considerably more expensive than drink wood. All the bulbs, give me a certain amount of pleasure. More fun to do. Okay, that's pretty cool. See how that is. Now, for fishing. So, cool. Here. Stop. It's already nice one. It's a little velocity here. So you get a little more friction. You can give it this really nice. It's super yellow. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Ooh. That almost sounded like a bilabial fricative. All right. I've replaced the bottom with the lid. Let's see if we can get some wax on here. This is a little bit hairy, but here's the top side. See, I put some decoration in that in there. All right. Well, the only thing left to do really is fit this onto the bottom part of the bowl. And that's a process that I haven't actually completely formulated yet. So once I figure it all out and get it on there, I don't think it's going to be too serious a problem, but we'll get you a picture of the completed project. I have decided that I do not like the look of this lid. Well, I have a salt cellar. It's, well, I gave you the dimensions at the first. It's about 3.5 inches tall, 4 inches in diameter. Hasn't changed very much, but it's been a bit of an ordeal. I mean, this wood is just so hard that I was getting a fair number of catches. This knot here caused me a little trouble with catches, but it looks real nice in there. And there's a knot right in the top, right here. And at one point, when I was sanding, this top got so completely encrusted with with sawdust, and it got down into the pores because it's end grain. And I just couldn't get it out. So I decided I would put this back in the lathe, in the coal jaws, and just go ahead and touch it. And then I had a minor catastrophe where I got just a wicked catch on the edge of this knot. So I spent probably an hour with the chisels just barely grazing the surface of it, and dug all the the old sawdust and the catch out of there. So, and then I came back when I figured I was done. I put the beeswax on and used my sock. Thank you, Richard. And I used my little digital scale here, and I had bought few brass screws, number 10 by 2 inch, because that's the diameter I wanted, not so much the length. I ended up cutting one off and put it on the grinding wheel just to taper it back to a point. And then I cut the head off of it and filed it nice and smooth and put just a little bevel around it. And now my little salt cellar does this. Or not. And bam! So it's a good diameter for reaching in there. It's heavy enough. I think I may still yet put some of that foamy stuff that you use for so stuff doesn't slide around. My wife liked some decoration in the top, so I put some hits in there with the detailer, and I did the same thing around the outside here to dress it up a little bit. Thank you, Richard, again. And I guess that's about all I got. So thanks for watching Schroedman's Shop. My name's Dave, and I should show you the inside, I guess. And it's all been beeswaxed, the whole thing, so easy close. And I left it so I could take the lid off if I wanted to, wash the thing out or get back on there. Gee. So anyways, it seals up nice so no dust or critters can get in there. And okay, let's try it again. Thanks for watching Schroedman's Shop. I hope you'll like and subscribe. And I hope we'll see you on the next one. Happy New Year.